Some tech is game changing. Some tech is cool. Sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's junk, and sometimes it's just downright expensive. That's what we're talking about today. I love tech as much as the next guy, but when it comes right down to it, it's often really pricey. And if you're not careful, you can go broke buying this stuff. The reality is most of us can't afford all the tech. If that's not true for you, feel free to carry on. But I lump myself in with the majority of folks who have a limited amount of money. The truth is, I have to be really selective about the tech that I buy. So keep watching and hit that like button, and let's take a look at how you can get great technology without breaking the bank. Let's start off with what great technology is. To me, it's technology that will add value to your life in some way and will meet your needs. That doesn't mean it has to be the top brand name out there, the trendiest device, or even the most expensive thing out there. In fact, those are factors you should be wary of before you part with your hard-earned money. First of all, my number one tip before you even buy anything is to start a tech savings account. This should go without saying, but if you can't afford the tech, don't buy it. Technology can add up very quickly. And for the most part, it is a nice to have, not a need to have. If you're gonna wipe yourself out or overextend yourself on your monthly budget, now might not be the right time to buy. That product you wanna get, it's not going anywhere. Take your time and plan ahead. So what I recommend is that you set up a special savings account, or at least a percentage of your savings to be dedicated to the new tech that you want to buy. And then on a weekly or monthly basis, move money to that account and build up towards your goal. This is a great way to work up to the price of that new phone, PlayStation, or other device. Personally, I use a service called Mocha to do this. You can set it up to round up the transactions from your checking account, and it'll deposit the difference into the savings account. Or you can set up a recurring set withdrawal to happen every week as well. That's the way I go about it because I like to budget exactly how much I'm going to save every single week. If setting up an easy to use savings account sounds intriguing to you, I've linked to Mocha in the video description. It's my personal referral link, and if you do set up an account to start saving, you'll get a $5 bonus. Tip number 2, buy last year's model. When buying new devices, whether it's a phone or computer or a tablet, there's actually nothing wrong with buying last year's model. Listen, I get it. Having the absolute latest tech is the dream. But you've got to prioritize your life a little bit, and sometimes it makes sense to buy one generation older. Older models are often on sale, or they'll have their prices reduced when the newer models come out. Apple Watches are a good example of this. Honestly, I haven't purchased the latest version of the Apple Watch since it came out. You can get an older model directly from Apple for a lot less than what the new ones go for. Typically, you still get a lot of the features that you want. Still a great product. So unless you need something that is specifically just on the newest model, I think this is a great strategy to save some cash. Tip number 3, consider buying refurbished or clearance models. A lot of companies offer refurbished and clearance devices. There's a few reasons why these products are available at deeply discounted prices. There's actually a term called consumer contamination, which really just boils down to the fact that the product was opened out of the box and touched by somebody else. And some buyers tend to value it less. And of course, there could be lack of original packaging and different warranties. Regardless of the reason, most companies refurbishing products are doing a pretty thorough job, and you can definitely snag some amazing deals if you go this route. A few places that you can check out certified refurbished items and clearance items are Apple Certified Refurbished, Best Buy, and Amazon Renewed. Apple's certified refurbished devices are thoroughly cleaned, given a new battery and outer casing, and backed by a 1-year warranty. Best Buy has a variety of options with varying degrees of polish, including clearance, open box, Geek Squad certified open box, and refurbished. And Amazon Renewed carries pre-owned products that have been inspected, tested, and cleaned to a like-new standard. These products all come with a minimum 90-day warranty. Tip number 4, buy secondhand. Buying technology through Facebook Marketplace or other online marketplaces is another option for finding a great deal. This does come with a higher risk than getting a clearance or refurbished item, so if you decide to go this route, use caution. I'd recommend that you get the serial number to check the device's warranty or get a proof of warranty. Also, make sure you know what you're buying, what it should look like, and what it should function like. And importantly, don't be afraid to just cancel the deal if you're questioning in any way the legitimacy or the quality of the product. If you're buying an Apple product, take the time to set up a Genius Bar appointment and meet the seller at the Apple store and get the staff there to inspect the product and verify the quality. Not only is it a safer public place to meet up, but Apple's technicians can check the warranty and open up the device to look for tampering or other types of issues with the device. There have been known to be scenarios where people will buy products only to find out that some of the internal components have been swapped out and they're not the original manufacturer's components. So it's really good to be cautious and verify. So once again, buying used is a good option. Just be thorough as you go through the process. Tip number 5, sell your old devices. If you're doing the upgrade and your old device is in good condition still, sell it to help offset the cost of the new device. You'll notice that I said sell and not trade in. There's nothing really wrong with doing a trade-in, but 99 times out of 100, you will always get a better price if you sell privately. It is more of a hassle, it does take more time, but you are going to get a better return. So ultimately, it's a choice you got to make, but keep that in mind as you consider the trade-in versus selling privately. And definitely don't let your old device sit in a drawer somewhere and not get you any money at all. Tip number 6, know your refresh cycle. And don't refresh more than you need to. There was a time where my wife and I would refresh our phones every 2 years. And I'll admit, it's great to always have a pretty new phone. But that was back in the day when most phones were locked to a carrier and it was kind of difficult to get them unlocked. So we would pay up front and buy them unlocked. And after using them for 2 years, we could recoup the majority of what we actually spent on the phones and only have to spend a few hundred more to kind of do the upgrade, which was great. Nowadays, it's different. The prices of phones can see huge jumps from year to year, and it's super easy to get a phone unlocked, or it already comes unlocked most of the time. Not to mention the fact that, technology has gotten pretty good over the last few years, and even with a phone that's a little bit older, it's still pretty good, even if it's not the latest and greatest. This prompted us to reevaluate our upgrade cycle. The value that we got from upgrading our phones every 2 years just wasn't there anymore, and so we kind of decided to bump it up to potentially 3 years and go from there. But I would definitely recommend upgrading your phone every 2 to 3 years instead of every year. Just be wary of replacing technology before you actually need to. Tip number 7, plan your buy. Knowing your refresh cycle and having a technology savings set up will help you be prepared to buy when the time is right. If you can put off your purchase and wait for a long weekend, you'll usually be able to find a sale somewhere that beats the regular price. There's also times where you're going to be able to find better deals, such as Black Friday and Cyber Monday in November. Waiting for these sales can save you a ton of money. If you want to get that tech before the next big sale comes along, I'm actually a fan of an online tool called camelcamelcamel.com. And my wife found this when we were expecting our son, and it actually helped save us a ton on baby gear. Basically, you find an item that you want to buy on Amazon, and then you just paste that item into their site, and it'll give you an alert as soon as the price drops at any point. The site will also show you the highest, lowest, and average price for the item that you're looking at. You can set it to alert you when it drops below a certain threshold. It's important to know that on Amazon, sometimes prices will drop drastically, but they may only stay there for a day or even sometimes just a few hours. Setting up an alert like this allows you to get notified and take advantage when there's a big price drop. Tip number 8, be selective with your purchases and don't buy cheap junk. I will almost always opt for quality over quantity when it comes to technology. There are lots of gadgets and a lot of knockoff, cheaper items out there. And it's easy to end up wasting money on tech that doesn't actually add value to your life. And you can kind of nickel and dime yourself into buying a bunch of stuff that eventually just ends up in the landfill really quickly. You don't always have to have the most expensive item though. That doesn't equal quality all the time. You got to do your research. Look at the reviews, look at the brand, and understand if they're a reputable brand. Trust people who have used the product who you know, and be aware of the return policy in the worst case scenario. Tip number 9, don't buy something just because someone else did. This is quite possibly the worst possible reason to buy something new. I get it, keeping up with the Joneses is a real thing. But the truth is, the satisfaction you get from owning that item is extremely fleeting. More often than not, you'll actually end up regretting your purchase. It's important to understand the underlying motivation for wanting to purchase an item. If you take some time to think about it, you may realize you don't want that new item as much as you thought. And that leads me to tip number 10. Just don't buy it. Or if you are going to buy it, wait 30 days. It's easy to make a split-second decision to make a big purchase, especially if you're online or if you're in a shopping mall. It's so easy to one-click buy or swipe your credit card and instantly spend hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. Sometimes in the moment, the emotional attachment to making that purchase can be so strong. And I'm not one to tell you that you shouldn't have what you want. But if you really think you want that item, put that to the test of time. Wait 30 days to make big purchases. I know that can seem like a really long time, but it's going to help you make better decisions. It gets rid of the initial emotional rush of getting that item in your hands and allows you to make an informed, rational decision based on your needs. If you still think it's a great purchase after 30 days and you've got the money, go for it. So there you have it. My top 10 tips on getting the most value for your money when it comes to buying tech. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you have other tips for when it comes to saving money on buying tech? What about budgeting and planning big purchases? Check out the link to Mocha in the description as well. It's a great way to save money for the tech that you want. And you get a $5 bonus to give you a head start. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button for me so more people can see it. And subscribe to get more technology. I post videos every Friday. We'll see you in the next one.